Final question for you. You've said that you want the deal with AJ to be done by the end of Monday.
Monday is the deadline.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news, some breaking news concerning Turkey, Usyk, Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, Oleksandr, Usyk. Get this. According to Turkey Usyk, he said this. He said, I talked to him, Turkey said, and I have his word to have him in Riyadh season in 2026. We have a rabbit to hunt. Those are the words of Turkey Usyk. And let me counterpunch. At first, when I read this, I got mad. And I got mad because I'm like, okay, well, what the hell? How are you going to have Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, just cutting the line of all these guys that are worthy and qualified to take on Usyk if Usyk is still around? And then it dawned on me. This is 2026. A lot could happen this year. For one, Usyk could get beat by Daniel Dubois. Hell, who knows until it happens? I don't think so, but it could happen. Two, if Usyk does win, who's to say Usyk will be around in 2026? He didn't definitely say that he said he had 2 more fights left, but things change. He said, I think about retirement, but that doesn't really mean that he's going to necessarily retire. And what normally happens, a fighter that has been so excellent like Oleksandr Usyk, people get a win over someone that's almost out of the game. So hopefully that's Daniel Dubois. So if Tyson Fury thinks he's going to get a rabbit to hunt, which we all know, the White Rabbit is the nickname of Oleksandr Usyk by Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, White Rabbit and Greedy Belly, right? So those are the 2 nicknames they gave each other. So we knew who he was talking about. And when I say he, I mean Turkey Usyk. So 2026, it will be a fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. This tells me a couple things. One, they don't think Daniel Dubois will win. They think Oleksandr Usyk will still hold those damn belts. They think Usyk will beat everyone except Tyson Fury. And I think the idea, the mindset for them to have is, if Usyk is able to beat Parker, to beat Caballero, to beat Dubois this month, then we'll see about a fight like that. Because if not, the question you ask yourself, what if Usyk loses? Does Tyson still want to fight Usyk if he lost, if he took an L, or fight the guy that beat Usyk? You're the guy that beat the guy that some guy beat you, and then you beat the guy that beat him. Right? So that's the question. I mean, if you only see tunnel vision to Oleksandr Usyk, that means if you want to fight him in 2026, that means you don't mind him having a loss or 2. Not saying that he's going to lose, but the possibilities are higher when you're older, when you're aging, when you're not as sharp as you once was. You know what I mean? The probability of someone getting beat at that point is higher. So it's more likely. So the question is, will Tyson Fury still want to fight Oleksandr Usyk without those belts? And I don't know. And I think it may be based on the amount of money that Turkey offers him. But Turkey's offering him a fight, for the 3rd time. And it's like, okay, what warrants this damn fight? What type of performance did Tyson Fury give us in the 2nd fight? Now, if it was better, in the 2nd fight, it would have been different. But it wasn't. It was Tyson Fury trying to really fight more of a Kronk style, which that style did not work for him with Usyk because Usyk was too light on his feet. Whereas the first fight, he was boxing more, so he's using more of his athletic ability, being the old Tyson Fury, which he actually had better results and, better success, right? But not so much in the 2nd fight. Even though the 2nd fight wasn't exciting as the first fight, he still lost both fights. I'll say this, though. If Danny Dubois goes in and fights Oleksandr Usyk, and he does better in the second fight than he did in the first fight, you know, he don't do something stupid like quit, that means AJ and Danny Dubois were able to figure out more or do a better job with adjusting to someone they've been in the ring with before versus Tyson Fury. Because Tyson Fury really doesn't warrant any reason why he should go back in there. But I know what it is. You guys seen the video. I just posted it less than an hour ago. Tyson Fury says that he only wants to come back from Oleksandr Usyk, and then all of a sudden Turki Al-Sheikh is like, hey, we got a rabbit for you to hunt next year. So I think he's projecting that to see what Tyson Fury, to bring him back into the sport, to see another fight. And honestly, I don't want to really see another fight, a trilogy fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. You know what I mean? Because if, again, it's just like the same with Danny Dubois. If Danny Dubois doesn't produce a knockout and he gets beat the same way or similar way, it's a waste of time for Oleksandr Usyk, because he could have fought somebody else. He could have fought one of his mandatories. He could have fought a fresh challenge. He could have fought someone he never fought before. He could have done some of those things. You know, I feel the same way about Tyson Fury getting another opportunity at Oleksandr Usyk when he's lost twice back to back. Nobody wants to see an AJ versus Usyk 3, right? So why would we want to see an Usyk versus Tyson Fury 3? Nobody wanted to see a Tyson Fury versus Wilder 3 until the shit happened. It was fire, but we didn't want to see it. The only thing that we hope for is these fights that we don't want to see produce excitement that we didn't expect to see, if that makes sense to people. So, you know, that being said, if the fight's going to get made because the masses or whatever want it, or the powers that be want the fight to happen, let's hope it's a fight that we didn't anticipate being exciting. Let's hope there's some knockdowns. Let's hope that's a knockout. Let's hope it's something definite so somebody can't make an excuse to say, oh, well, if they call it blue, it's blue, and we know it's really red. That means if I won and they say he won, that doesn't mean, you know, I lost because I know I really felt I won. That's an opinion. That's contingent. That's one of those things. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see nothing like that. I want to see something definite, just like a Fury versus Wilder 3. But will we get that? Probably not, because both guys are very, very skilled. And because they're very, very skilled, you don't have people making mistakes like that. But who knows? Because the first fight damn near produced a knockout, and I think it should have been a knockout, a TKO. In fact, you guys tell me what you think of Turki Al-Sheikh setting up Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury 3 in 2026. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.